How you doing, guys? Welcome to the Fit for 90 podcast. I'm your host, Cayman Bandel, non-league footballer and strength and conditioning coach. Today, I want to speak about something I think is going to be really important for a lot of players, especially at the time of recording this. Like we're approaching preseason, and I genuinely think one of the biggest mistakes footballers make every single year is they wait for preseason to actually start getting serious. And I get it. The season's ended, you're mentally drained, the body's battered, you want a break. It's normal. I get that. But what a lot of players don't realize is the players who dominate throughout preseason, the ones who dominate in those first few months of the season, that's built before preseason's even started. And the reason so many lads struggle is because every June, July, they go into preseason having spent 6 to 8 weeks just drifting, just doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And you don't suddenly become unfit overnight. It happens over time, but it happens very, very quietly. And it's something I want to break down today. And I don't want you guys making the same mistakes that I have in the past, so that when you go into preseason, you're last in the fitness tests, you're getting niggles, you're cramping up, your muscles tightening up, you're struggling to recover. It can be a real tough time of year if you don't get it right. Now, one of the biggest misunderstandings I see about preseason is most players think preseason is where you actually get to fit. The reality is preseason, especially at the non-league level, just exposes how prepared you are. It's as simple as that. If you come back overweight, if you come back a little bit stiff, if you come back weak, if you come back under-conditioned, preseason, the 4, 6, 8 week block that your team puts on, it just becomes survival mode. You spend the first 3 or 4 weeks just trying not to drown, trying not to finish last in the fitness test. And then you've got those better prepared players who are really building from session 1. Because they've already done what they need to do leading up to preseason. There's a very, very big difference between the two types of players that you'll see going back into preseason. And you as an athlete and as a footballer are going to fall into one of those two categories. Now, the off-season we're currently in, so the phase we're currently in, is one of the biggest opportunities of the entire year. Most players completely waste it. The reason why they waste it is because when we're in season, we're managing fatigue. We're trying to stay fresh for training and games. We then have to focus on recovering between games. You pick up knocks, so that also leads to prolonged recovery periods and things that you have to kind of manage. But when we're in the off season, when we're approaching the preseason, we can build. You can get stronger. You can improve your conditioning. You can work on your speed properly 2 times a week. You can fix any movement issues you've got. You can get leaner, something I've done myself recently. You can recover properly. And you can do this without worrying about being sharp for the Saturday 3 p.m. kickoff. It's a great time of year, and it's a very special time of year for every single footballer. If you're a serious athlete, if you want to have a serious season next year. Now, a lot of players, the part I see players underestimate massively is what you do now compounds. There's a lag effect. So the work I'm doing now on 28th of May, today, is going to show up on the 28th of June. It's not going to show up tomorrow. There's a lag effect, and the lag effect is always 4 to 6, sometimes even 8 weeks on the stuff that we do. And I wish it was sooner, but it's not. And you have to recognize what you do now compounds. The work you do in June is going to show up in August. The work you do in August is going to show up in September. But also the work you avoid now is also going to show up in about 4 to 6 weeks' time. And that's where a lot of players, I think they underestimate massively the thing that they have been neglecting or not doing, how that's going to impact them maybe 4, 6 weeks' time, when the holidays have come and gone, when they've enjoyed the beer gardens, they'll be sitting there thinking, shit, yeah, I wish I'd done a little bit more now. Pre-season, going into pre-season training with your team, getting through that doesn't necessarily create the confidence that you need to go and perform for a 9-10 month long season. What actually creates that confidence is preparation. And I'm talking from someone who's been at both ends of the spectrum, by the way. I've been the guy who was at the back of the fitness test, couldn't complete the bleep test. I was just the slowest player in the world. I swear, if I moved any slower, I'd be moving backwards. It was that slow. But I've also been the guy who, when I've gone into preseason training, I've hit like a Premier League standard on the yo-yo test, on the bleep test, because I've gone away and prepared. And it's the preparation that led to being more confident, so that I could have a very good level of athleticism to be able to then go and play at my best level, whether it might not be a professional level, but it's my best level. And it came down to preparation. Now, if you only rely on team training, it's literally you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's not enough anymore. And I know some of you lads listening to this will not like hearing that, but if team training was enough, every single player in that squad that you have around you would improve equally. But the truth is that they don't, because the players who improve the fastest usually do more outside of the club environment. So what do these players do differently? Well, they've got a better structure generally. They've got better habits. They've got better preparation. They've got better recovery. They're more consistent. They're more disciplined. They don't rely on motivation because we know that comes and goes very, very quickly. They have a structure in place. Often they're getting speed exposure every single week. The way they're lifting in the gym, because we all go to the gym, that's great. But the way they lift in the gym, the way they train in the gym is very, very different. They train with performance in mind. So instead of just, and I'm not saying like bodybuilding training is bad, but instead of just training like a bodybuilder, they're going in, they're doing the plyometrics. They don't really care what other gym goers think when they're doing their pogo jumps or they're bounding around. Like if anything, nowadays, more people are open to the idea of plyometrics because so many things are more performance focused now when it comes to the gym and to the fitness industry, things like Hyrox, etc. Like doing plyometrics has become a norm. And if you're still going into the gym and thinking, oh, I don't want to do my plyos because someone's watching me, you kind of need to, like, in the nicest way possible, you need to grow up because ultimately you've got a goal that you want to hit. And if you're not training your plyos, if you're not doing specific things in the gym, which might look a little bit funny to the average person, but if you're not doing that because you're just worried about what other people think of you, you've got to grow up and think, listen, like there's a bigger picture here. If you want to be dominating every single Saturday next year, go in and do the work. Don't worry about what other people think, because more often than not, when you're in a gym environment, nobody really gives a shit what you're doing anyway. That's more often than not, that's in your head. Believe me when I say that, because I used to get massive anxiety going into the gym. I used to like find a little studio or a little corner and just do my own thing. But now it's like, I don't really care. So the best players, they've got the structure in place. They've got the habits. They prepare in the right way. They're training the right way. But you as a footballer, you may think you've got a lot of time to work at this until suddenly you don't. And the reason why I say that is because every single year that passes, every off-season, every pre-season, every single one matters. Because if you don't get it right, your season, you start your season, instead of starting 100%, you start at 70% or even 60%, 50%. And over the course of that 9-10 month long season, you start to drop off because you've not got the physical qualities, the capabilities to withstand the demands of a Tuesday, Saturday. And what happens is every season you waste also compounds. We then have to look at your physical prime. How old are you? Are you in your prime right now? Are you approaching your prime? Has your prime already gone? That window's not open forever. It's very different for every single individual player. Most players I see, and I've spoken to, and I've got friends like this as well, they waste their playing days very, very quietly. They kind of just drift through season to season, summer to summer, pre-season to pre-season. They don't really do anything. They just kind of coast. And before you know it, it's like, oh yeah, I picked up a knock or I've done my ACL or something's happened. And it's like, I'm not really going to be playing anymore. Before you know it, football's done. Now you've got another 30, 40 years of no football. And that point's going to come for everyone. Like, don't get me wrong, that football won't last forever, especially playing like non-league football. That's not going to last forever. However, you want to try and maximize the time that you do have. And the way to do that, number one, the lowest hanging fruit for every single player is to make sure you're physically prepared, you're physically fit, and mentally prepared as well for the demands of it. So you can at least maximize and enjoy the time you are playing. You don't look back in 10 years' time and think, oh man, I wish I did more. If you carry on going as you are, some of you are underprepared at the moment, you're going to know that feeling, that first week back. I've been there myself. Legs are gone within the first 10 minutes. Your lungs are burning. Your legs are burning. Calves start to tighten up. Your touch is horrific, which then means that it has a knock-on effect on your confidence, and your confidence starts to drop. That compounds from session to session. Suddenly, a preseason that you wanted to be like really, really good has become an absolute shit show because you've got no confidence to be able to go and do and express what you want to do. Instead of building momentum, you're trying to survive session to session. It's the worst place in the world if you don't get it right. So one of the biggest things I want you guys to take from today is more of a mindset shift. Really, is players don't use preseason to get ready. The fittest players don't use preseason to get ready. They arrive ready. It doesn't mean that they're perfect. There's still things that are going to need to be worked on, but they're prepared. And then there's another set of lads within that same squad, I'm sure, who won't be prepared. And they will literally just be surviving over the next 6 to 8 weeks. So if you're listening to this and you know you've drifted in previous off seasons, previous pre-seasons, good. Like, at least now you're aware of it. And awareness is the first step to being able to change. If you're serious about improving this season and not just hoping things magically change, then now is the time to start taking your preparation seriously. It's exactly why we've built structured support around pre-season. We're about 4 days out from launching our pre-season blueprint. And this isn't just like workouts. It's a proper system that fits in around team training. A lot of players, they don't They don't fail because they lack talent. I think there's a lot of talented lads playing non-league right now, but they fail because their preparation never matches their ambition for the season. And that's what the preseason blueprint is all about. It's about making sure you're prepared to then go and express yourself as best as you can. If you want more details on it, comment somewhere around this video 90. I will send you the details. But if you take anything from today, please do not just drift over the next 6 to 8 weeks. Get to work, knuckle down, and get yourself in a position where you're prepared going into preseason so that you can have an incredible 26-27 season. I'll see you guys next time. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. All the best.